Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Michael Lofton Show on Reason and Theology. Let's talk more about the document issued yesterday by the Magisterium of the Catholic Church, a teaching document that goes over the various forms of blessings that the church offers. And it also speaks of people who are living in a same sex situation. It notes blessings that are directed at these individuals. And so then the question is, okay, what is exactly the object of blessing here? Because there is language in the document, as I reviewed yesterday, about couples and blessings for couples of same sex. And so then the question is, okay, well, what is being blessed exactly with that kind of language? Are we talking about the blessing of the couple itself? Or are we talking about the blessings of the persons in the couple or of the couple? That's the question that we need to review. I know I addressed and answered it yesterday in a review of the document, but I was reviewing the entire document, so I didn't focus on that at any great length because the document itself in context was pretty clear. But again, there is language in there that talks about blessings for couples of the same sex. So that's what we need to focus on in this stream. Are we talking about blessing the couple itself, or blessings for the persons of the couple? I think the context is pretty clear in the document, but unfortunately, most people did not read the document. They just saw that language in paragraph 31, or perhaps the header there for section 3 of the document that is titled Blessings of Couples in Irregular Situations and of Couples of the Same Sex. They see that and they think, oh, that must mean the object of the blessing is the gay union itself. And that is why a lot of people in the media just kind of ran with Pope approves of blessing of couples of the same sex, and people have often understood it as a blessing of the union of the couple rather than the persons of the couple. And I'm going to demonstrate the context is the blessing is for the persons of the couple, not of the couple itself, not of the union itself. In addition to that, I want to provide and go over with a short catechism that a priest friend of mine just wrote to help people better understand the document, what it is saying, what it's not saying, how we should and how we should not respond to it. I added just a few additions and tweaks to it, but the substance and the majority of it is the work of a priest friend of mine, and perhaps in the future he'll come on and talk about it. But he offered it to me to provide to y'all, and I think it is a great let's see here, opportunity for catechesis and a great resource to help understand the document. And so we're going to go over that. Then I also want to go over various reactions that have been made to the document by specifically Catholic figures. I want to kind of see where they're at and how they have responded and reacted to it, and perhaps I'll interact a little bit with it. Okay, so just to make it very clear what I'm saying here at the outset, I do think that there are a lot of misleading headlines out there. The headlines that you're going to see are Pope approves blessings for same-sex couples. And again, if you look at paragraph 31, let me show it to you. You can see where people who are not actually reading the document are getting this misunderstanding from. Right here, blessings of couples in irregular situations and of couples of the same sex. Now, imagine you're a journalist who doesn't know much about theology, and you're rushing to get something out there, so you're not really even reading very carefully. I could imagine a journalist who doesn't really know a whole lot seeing this headline and saying, okay, there it is, blessings for couples of the same sex. And then they put that in the headline. And what does the average person take away from that? Well, the average person is going to take away from this phrase the notion that the couple itself, that is the union, the disordered union itself, is the object of the blessing. But if you just look at paragraph 31 and the entire context of the document, it's abundantly clear when it refers to blessings of couples of the same sex, it's in reference to the blessings for the persons of the couple, not of the union itself. But I could totally understand why people who aren't really looking into things, aren't fact checking, aren't really trained in theology, I could totally understand how some of these, at the very least, secular reporters would misreport this stuff. What is inexcusable, however, is Catholic media misreporting and misinterpreting. That is a different matter. I hold Catholics to a higher standard than secular, non-Christian in many cases, voices and media outlets. Okay, so I I want to point out again, when we speak of here, there's a couple ways in which this can be understood. It can be understood again as a blessing for the people of the same-sex union, not for the union itself. Or it can be understood as a blessing for the union of the couple itself. Now, if all we had to go on was just that little headline, it would be unclear. But if you just read the context, words only have meaning in their context. So what is it referencing? It's referencing persons. Let's actually read the document, and I'm sorry, not the whole document. I already did a whole show yesterday going over line by line the entire document. But let's just hone in on this question. Let me remind you of paragraph 5 that states this. This is also the understanding of marriage that is offered by the gospel. For this reason, when it comes to blessings, the church has the right and duty to avoid any rite that might contradict this conviction or lead to confusion. Such is also the meaning of the response of the congregation of the doctrine of the faith, which states that the church does not have the power to impart blessings on unions of persons of the same sex. So that 2021 document is being reasserted here. It's being reasserted in this document, making it expressly clear that the blessings are not on unions of persons of the same sex. So when we see later on, language of blessings of couples of the same sex, it's not of their union, it is of the persons within this couple, the two individuals who are in this disordered union. The object of the blessing is the persons of the couple. The subject asking for the blessing is the couple, right? Who is asking for a blessing? A couple of a disordered union. What is the object? Is it the union itself? No, the document says absolutely not. And anything that would confuse that must be avoided. The object, however, of the blessing is the persons. Within the horizon outline here appears the possibility of blessing for couples in irregular situations and for couples of the same sex, the form of which should not be fixed ritually by ecclesiastical authorities to avoid producing confusion with the power, with the blessing proper to the sacrament of marriage. In such cases, a blessing may be imparted that not only has an ascending value, but also involves the invocation of a blessing that descends from God upon those. Those is reference to a person or persons, individuals, people. Those is the object of the blessing. Persons, not the couple, not the union, I should say, but rather the persons of the couple. So it is upon those who again is in reference to persons, not the union. Union is not a who. That's not the proper pronoun for a union. Recognizing themselves to be destitute and in need of his help. So this is not an approval blessing. Rather, this is a blessing for grace to live a holier life, to receive help from God, to stop sinning. and they do not claim a legitimation of their own status. So they're not saying, hey, please bless my union because my union is legit. No, they're not recognizing a legitimation of their status or claiming that or asking for that. But they beg, who again is in reference to persons, not the union, but who beg that all that is true, good, and humanly valid in their lives and their relationships be enriched. These are individuals who want enrichment of the things found in their life. They want healing. It says healed and elevated by the presence of the Holy Spirit. These forms of blessing express a supplication that God may grant those aids that come from the impulses of his Spirit, what classical theology calls actual grace, so that human relationships may mature and grow in fidelity to the gospel. This human relationship that they currently have right now is disordered, and they are sinning against each other. And the intention here is to receive grace that human relationship would be properly ordered. That is a friendship, not a union where they are sinning against each other. May mature and grow in fidelity to the gospel. What is the relationship between two people who are attracted to the same sex? A holy friendship. That is the relationship. A relationship of purity and chastity, not one of abusing each other with sexual acts. And so these actual graces are going to help them go away and move away from that disordered union and to grow in fidelity to the gospel. For what purpose? That they may be freed from their imperfections and frailties, freed from sin, freed from abusing each other, and rather now oriented towards each other in a holy way, in the way that two individuals should conduct themselves who are not in a marriage which is exclusively between a man and a woman, according to this document. And that they may express themselves in the ever increasing dimension of the divine love. Now, there's so much more in this document that bears out what I'm saying, but I'm just pointing out in the immediate context of the language of blessing of couples of the same sex, the meaning is clear in the context. Again, words only have meaning in their context. So we are talking about the blessing of persons of the couple, not of the union itself, not of the couple's union, but of the persons within the couple. I need to get like a chalkboard and write it on there and, read it over and over. And in fact, we all need to get chalkboards and write it on there 100 times. The blessing is for persons of the couple, not for the union itself. And the blessing is to live a holier life and to be conformed to God's will, not to validate a disordered union. The document is expressly clear for anybody who actually reads it. That is all brought out. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see the full video, go to the link in the description. And also, while you're at it, hit the subscribe button. God bless. Are you a Catholic thinking about converting to Eastern Orthodoxy? Or are you a Protestant discerning whether or not to become Catholic or Eastern Orthodox? If so, I have the book just for you. It's called Answering Orthodoxy, and engages all of the arguments that Eastern Orthodox use against the Catholic Church. I respond to all of them. I show that they are in error, and in fact, they're inconsistent, because the things that Orthodox are objecting to are in fact found in their own tradition. So the fullness of the faith can only be found in the Catholic Church. Check out the book right now at shop.catholic.com for your copy today.